Hello, class. So I am recording this video before Thanksgiving, but you'll watch it after Thanksgiving. So it's November 2020, and during the last few weeks of our fall semester, the pandemic has been getting worse. And so I hope that you and your loved ones are safe during this incredible time. Okay, so this is your video about revising the essay. Kind of an overview. Of course, it's different for each person depending on you and what your writing is like and what your rough draft was like. But in this video, I talk about the overall process of revising an essay. And I think you know it by now because we've had the same 4 steps for all 3 of our essays. And by now you know more about yourself as a writer and what things you really need to work on. Okay, so as always, revising will take 6 to 8 hours, maybe more. It's not something you do in an hour or 2, so it really takes a long time to do a good job, so plan your time. I suggest for the last 2 weeks of the semester that you write it down, your schedule, like every day. What are you doing from morning till night? And write down when you're going to revise this essay, okay? Because it's crunch time for the semester. You have a lot to do, so really plan your time. All right, also you must study the comments I gave you on your rough draft and revise accordingly. And of course, you'll be having a conference with me and a conference with Jed. And that is your chance to really deal with the comments that I give you on the rough draft and figure out what it means, what I said, and what you're going to do about it and how you're going to revise your paper. Okay, so the 4 steps are the same for every essay. Read and think more, step 1. Step 2, clarify your overall argument, thesis, and outline, so the overall shape of your paper. Step 3, beef it up, expand. And then step 4, cleanup time, which is about your spelling and grammar and capital letters, but also about your citations and MLA format and things like that. So step 4 is the polishing phase at the end. Okay, so a few themes for essay 3. So for revising step 1, reread key spots in the books. I should have put an S for books. Take more notes as needed. Reread your essay questions. Sometimes when I read an essay, it seems like the writer got lost track of the essay questions. So read it over and over and go back to it. And of course, the comments you get. I suggest that you go back to the essay 2 final draft comments and the essay 3 rough draft comments. You might open them at the same time in 2 different tabs in your computer and really think about your issues as a writer. So by the end of English 100, you should know your strengths and weaknesses. So look at the essay 2 final draft and the essay 3 rough draft and think about, well, where am I at as a college paper writer? What am I good at? And what do I need to work on? Step 2, your overall argument. Improve your thesis and outline. So, as always, the thesis must directly answer the essay question. The essay must match the thesis. All body paragraphs support the thesis, and you explain how. So never lose track of your thesis. Stick like glue to telling your reader exactly how each new body paragraph supports the thesis. And of course, you can get help with clarifying by having conferences with Jed and with me. Beef up your argument with more detail and more analysis. And of course, this is different for everyone, depending on what your rough draft was like. So things you might do, add more evidence, new details, quotes, examples. Divide and expand. Divide long paragraphs and expand on each piece. This is a big deal. I noticed in Essay 2 a lot of people had very long body paragraphs, and often those need to be cut up. See the other video that I will give you on using quotes and dividing long paragraphs. Explain your thinking fully and link every new thing to the thesis. You might think of linking to the thesis as something you do at the end of each body paragraph. And the minimum length for this essay is 6 full pages. So that's your target. Cleanup time. Proofreading, grammar, spelling, punctuation, capital letters, etc. Everybody is different. So you have to figure out what your errors are. Okay? And talk to me if you're unsure about how to fix certain kinds of things. And then, of course, by the end of English 100, you need to know how to put your essay in MLA format. You need to know how to do in-text citations, which is mostly author's last name and page number parentheses. And you need to know how to make a works cited page. For this essay, the works cited page will actually be easier because you might just have the 2 books instead of your outside sources, because you do not have to have outside sources for this essay at all. All right, so that is your overview, but of course everybody is different. So I hope that the comments on your rough draft make sense, and I hope you'll talk to me in your conference and talk to Jed, and I want everyone to be successful in Essay 3. Thanks.